Good afternoon to one and all. So my name is Dr.RATHINA. So in this lecture series, we are going to see the DT based video. So here first I am going to explain the problem. So the Python program to find number of characters, words and lines in a program. So this is our main problem. So if you want to if you want to solve this particular problems, we need some requirements. For an example, first we have to import an library. So here we are using the library is OS. Then we need certain looping function, and also we need to calculate the length, word, characters with the help of that looping inside the looping function. So if we need the OS and looping function, we can solve this particular problem. So now I am going to explain this particular program line by line. So first line is we have to import the two library function. One is OS and sys, because here we are going to calculate the number of words, character, lines inside the file. If you want to use a file concept in a program, first we have to import the two libraries. One is OS and sys. The second one is we have to get the input from the user. So, for an example, fname equal to input enter file name. If user enter any file name, the name of the file is stored in fname. The next command, that is a very important command. So, os dot path dot that is file. So, os is a library, then path is also a library, then is file is a method. So, with the help of this particular line, first we have to check whether the given file is exists or not. First we have to check the given file is exists or not. If file exists means we can go to the process, which means that we are going to calculate the number of characters, words and lines. Suppose if file does not exist, then the line comes to here, then exists the command. Suppose for an example, if file exists mean, then we have to come this particular line. So here we are going to calculate, we are going to do all the process inside the looping function. For an example, for line in f, which means that, so we open the file, we are going to check every line. For an example, if file contain 3 lines, for an example, here the file name is mfile1.txt, it is a word file. For an example, it contains 3 lines. For an example, Python, then Java, then programming. So here I am showing one file. It contains 3 lines. So for how the for loop execute means, first it checks the first line. Then after that, this particular line is used. It converts. For an example, if any line contains more than one words, for an example here Python program. So we need to split this single line into 2 words. So that is the use of this particular line. After that, it adds. So this is a function. We can also write this particular line as CL equal to CL plus 1, which means that the number of words automatically added here. Then after that, we are going to calculate the words with the help of that length function. So first we have to check the first line. Then we have to split using the line split. After that, the CL is added 1. So line 1 initially 0, now is 1. Then after that, with the help of CW, this particular line, we are going to calculate how many number of words are there. For an example, CW equal to, in the first line, we have 2 words. The third one is, we are using, the function is length. This is used to calculate the number of characters. For an example, here the number of characters is, for an example, 12 means, now the CC contains 12. So after that, the loop cannot exist, because we have another 2 lines. So now again come to this line. So now the CL value is incremented by 2. Again with the length of this we can calculate how many number of words are there. So it is incremented by 1. Then with the help of this particular line, we are going to calculate how many number of characters are there. So plus 4. So this process is repeated until the last characters, until the last line. The same for loop process is repeated until the last line. So once it reaches the last line, we are going to display it with the help of printed function. First one is print, the number of line is CL. So CL contains how many number of lines are there. Then next one is print of number of words. The CW contains how many number of words totally. So here the file has 3 lines, but it has 4 words. So CL, if you execute this particular line, we can get the CL is 3, then CW is 4, then finally how many number of characters are there. For an example, so character we all know that this file P is 1 character, Y, then THON. So calculate how many number of characters that it is displayed in the CC. The CC contains the number of characters. So finally, with the help of print function, we are displaying the number of lines, number of words, number of characters. So finally, I am going to conclude. So here we are implementing a program to calculate the number of words, lines, and the characters. If you want to implement this particular program, so we need one library, that is OS. The second one is how to get the input from the user. With the help of this particular method is file. First we have to check whether the file exists or not. If it exists to me, with the help of for loop, we are going to calculate the length, word, and the characters, and finally display it. Suppose if file does not exist to me, the program automatically exists from this one. Okay? Thank you. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, now I am going to explain what is the use of that OS library. So if you want to find out any file exists in your program, if you want to perform any file related operation, we must include the OS library in the beginning.